Good afternoon. Welcome to the class on how to electronically handle Sage 300 printouts. So just to explain a little bit what those are, if you're new to Sage, those are printouts that occur each time you do a task or some sort of function in Sage. So it's a printout of what has occurred from what you have done. Or it gives you like a summary of a batch that you've posted, including postings and rejections. So those kind of things. So what this class is going to cover is how to set it up so it automatically stores these files into directories, so you don't have to print them out on paper, or so that you don't have to name them, physically type in a file name each time this window pops up. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do it in Sage. There's a couple of different methods that you can do, but I do want to put a warning out there that if you do turn this on, it turns it on for all modules, including payroll, financials, etc. So if you are trying to keep things confidential, then you're going to want to put some restrictions in place, which I'll talk about that as well. Okay, so in order to turn on electronically creating these printouts, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can come up here to Common Tasks in your Sage desktop, and you can come down here to Options under Tools. Just takes a minute to pop up. And you can see the options screen. Okay, so that's one way to bring up the window we need. Another way is to go into any module and go to the Tools Options menu. So it's the same exact screen, just different ways to get there. Okay, so we are going to come over here to the Journals section here. Okay, so as you can see, there's a checkbox here that says automatically print journal to file. So this will print it to a file and a folder structure of how I set it up right here. Okay, so if I turn this off, all of that's grayed out, and these will just go to paper when you print the printouts, or you'll have to name it, name the file, which I'll show you how this works. You'll have to name the file physically for the electronic file name. Okay, so let's turn this on and let's look here. So this section right here talks about the journal folders. So right now how it's set up is I want a folder for every application that I'm in. So I want a folder for AP and the printouts related to AP. I want one for GL. I want one for AR, billing, all of your different modules where printouts occur. It will create a folder for each module for all those printouts. Okay, it'll automatically do that. So let's say though that I wanted to create a folder where I want all of my AP enter checks to have a folder of their own. So that would be, oops, I can't do that. But under the tasks menu, there's enter invoices. I meant to say enter invoices a second ago, but it would say AP enter invoices for the folder name if I set it up like this. Okay, so let's say that I want all of my users to be in one folder. So if I'm doing something in accounts payable, GL, any module, all of my stuff as Lisa would go into one folder named my username. So it would be LHUT. A different user, same thing. So Brian Johnson, he would have his own folder for everything he's doing in the system for printouts. Okay. You could, like I said, you can mix, or like I was showing, you can mix and match these up. So everything in the application by user, you would do it like that. So all of the AP stuff that I'm doing would have its own folder. Okay, and I'll kind of show you the structure here in a minute. So I'm going to set this back to how it was. So every application, which is the most common, has their own folder. Now, the actual file, the printout that is created, people generally make it a little longer. So the file name will be GL, enter invoices, LHUT 2022, December, and then there's the day at the end. So basically, this gives a little bit more of a easier way to find the file name if you're looking for something. You know, hey, somebody entered in some invoices yesterday, and I know it was so-and-so, and I want to go find that printout to see what happened. Why didn't they make it in? Or, you know, whatever the reason. So these journal file names are a little longer. But again, you can sit here and pick and choose what you want the file name structure to look like. So notice though, if I hit clear, like I did up here, it clears everything you've set up. So if you hit clear, you'll have to start over and add these back in the order you want the file name to be printed like. Okay, so I'm going to show you the structure that it looks like in reality. So I'm going to look at my printouts. So I'm in my sample data. So if I scroll down a bit, you can see my AP, my billing module, my job cost module. These all have PR, cash management, GL. These have some printouts in them. Let me find a folder that has one here. So here is what the file name actually created when I did the task. So I imported some direct costs into my sample company, and the file name it created was job cost underscore. I was in the import direct costs task. There's my name and the date that I did it. So I just did it 5 days ago. Okay. So a different one here, you can see I was in job cost. I posted some entries on that same day. Okay. So if I pull this up, these are the printouts that I'm talking about. So these, they give you some information on what you've done in the system. Okay. So let's go and just do one here and show you the whole process and what it does. So I'm just going to pick a vendor here. It's deciding to be slow. Oh, because I have compliance management on. So I'm going to ignore this message. And get this coded somewhere. Okay, so when I finish this out, you can see that my printer information here automatically is sending it to the print file that those settings, how those settings were set up. So you can preview it here, but you can see it's going into my AP folder, and it's AP, enter invoices, my name, today's date and time. Okay, so you don't even have to go into it I hit printer setup. Basically, all you do is you hit start, and you don't have to worry about these printouts anymore. It's just going to save them into your server or wherever you save printouts. It's going to save those automatically. So you don't have to print them out on paper anymore. You don't have to worry about what the heck am I going to name that file name now this time. So it takes away that kind of annoying naming or having to print to paper functionality. So this is a pretty short live stream because it's a pretty simple thing to do here. But if you have any questions or need help setting this up, reach out to us at help@bangerinc.com. But again, it's a really nice feature to turn on if you are tired of handling those printouts. So reach out again if you have any questions or comments, and we'll be glad to help you. Thank you.